My name's James Martindale. Um, I was supposed to do this tutorial like 3 months ago, and I guess never got around to it. And I'm sorry about that. This is also my first tutorial ever, and I'm only doing this one shot because I don't feel like doing this over again. So, if this is sucky, my apologies. Also, I'm assuming that you have no idea what you are doing in Blender or Premiere Elements, I guess, because that's what I also want using. So if you do, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah. Anyway, first step is of course to get Blender. There's a link down in the description. It's free and it's pretty awesome, as long as you know how to use it. So once you have Blender, the first thing you want to do is, well, open Blender, of course, and you get this lovely screen. First you want to click out of this, and you agree with this very magical cube. Now, some basic controls for moving around. You can scroll your mouse wheel up and down to zoom in and out. You can hold on it and move your mouse around, and you can do this kind of thing. You can also hold on Shift on your keyboard and hit the middle button and do this pan sort of thing. Anyway, so first of all, we don't like this cube, so we're going to you can either hit the delete key on your keyboard or the X key, and then just click, and it'll get rid of it. Select anything you want by right-clicking on it. Let's get rid of this lamp because we don't need it. So, now we're going to import our magical script. So, you see this little thing right here? Your cursor should turn to a crosshair. Just press and hold on that, drag over here, and you have to split your view. Click on this thing, and you can go to the text editor. What we're going to do is we're going to put a script in, click new, that generates the bars for us. And so, there's a link in the description, of course, to this magical script that I did not write. It's by a genius. I don't remember his name. I linked him in the description. So give him some love. I like these three buttons because they make everything easier to read. So yeah, there aren't too many settings to really deal with this. You can set your number of bars, maximum frequency, minimum frequency, bar height. Don't really need to change those actually. What you do need to change, you need to change the file path to your sound file. In this case, I am using a wonderful song by a guy named Fractal. It's called Itvara. It's a free song. It's in the description. The download link's in the description. Yeah. So just want to paste that in between the quotes, the full path. And Windows loves backslashes, which is stupid. And so you got to make sure, if you get it from somewhere, make sure they're real slashes, not their idiot version of slashes. And yeah, once you've done this part, all you really need to do is click Run Script. This is going to take forever. Yeah. So another thing you can change is there's on the same line as the sound file, you can see an attack and a release. The attack is how long it takes for the bar to go up, and the release is how long it takes for it to go down in, I believe, seconds. And so you can tweak that to your heart's content. The default settings are, of course, right there, and they work out pretty well. I don't know if I use the default settings, but yeah. Yeah. This is taking freaking forever. Alright, so it doesn't actually take that long, or it doesn't actually take that little amount of time. It actually takes forever. But you don't need to watch that because it takes forever. So, yeah. So after forever, like 5 minutes or so, it depends, of course, on the computer, you'll get the bars. And that's pretty cool. They look all messed up, but as soon as you start messing around with Blender with them, they'll actually look real. So, you can kind of rearrange your view, and you get these beautiful bars. If you hold down Alt and hit A, you can watch them go by. And since I got like a little slow build up on the song, you don't really see much, but yeah. And then after a while it stops and loops, and that's because there's an in and out point that you have to set. And so to get that is also this, we also need to get the music in. And so we're going to do, I guess, both of them in one fell swoop. So click this button and switch to the video sequence editor and go back to number 1. You can click that and change it. Go to add and sound and go find that music file that you so desire. Where is it? There it is. And you see this number? This number is how long in frames the song is, and so you just put that into the end thingy, hit enter, and perfect. And you can zoom out like that. Alt A, and you can see it. Anyway, Alt A to pause. So we are done with that part, and so you can click on this thing and drag it over here so you get a full screen view. It looks nice in Blender. The thing is, you also gotta move your magical camera thing. If you hit 0 on your numpad, you can see what the camera sees, which is not much. And so what you want to do is you want to select it by right-clicking on it, do Alt G and Alt R, and those will reset the camera. And then you want to do a G for grab, Z, 55, that's pretty high up. Hit enter. And then G, X, 25.5. And you'll get this, which is pretty cool, I guess. Zoom out to find your camera. And you see this little green arrow, that's the Y-axis. You can move around that and do whatever you want to position it. I want this kind of close to the bottom, so I'll move like way up there. Way up there. There we go. So now you got the camera in place. You basically just need to get ready for rendering. So over here you got your rendering settings. You can set your resolution X and Y. You probably want it at 100% here. Turn off anti-aliasing. It'll make rendering quicker. Also under post-processing, turn off compositing. That might make it quicker. I don't know. Also up here you'll see like a magical globe. Click on that. Click on horizon color, set it to black. This will make it a lot easier for compositing later on. Well, not compositing, but you know, the video editing. Go back to the camera. Click on this PNG thing and change it to H.264. It's a pretty good format, except that Blender doesn't like it very well. So change this to MPEG-4. And you probably want audio, so click on the audio codec and select AAC. RGB gives you it in color. That's pretty cool. Also, if you want a high quality, set it to 320. That's a pretty good number. The last step is to set your output folder. You click on that thing. I'll just set it to desktop. Hit accept. And yeah, just need to hit the animation button and wait for this to render. It'll take, I don't know, probably 3, 4, 5 hours. Depends on your computer, of course. Yeah. So it's been several hours and my video's rendered. I don't really know about yours, but that's not really my problem. And it looks, you know, alright. But there's just one problem. It's just white bars on a black background. Black backgrounds aren't all that exciting. I mean, if you look at my videos on my channel, none of them have a black background because I actually like interesting things. And so the next step is to use some kind of video editor to put a background on. And all you really need is like a mid to professional range video editor, something like Adobe Premiere or Sony Vegas, or did I say Sony Premiere? I meant Adobe Premiere. Well, anyway, something that isn't Windows Movie Maker, pretty much. I don't know what that is. So what I use is Adobe Premiere Elements. I really hate it. It's like $100. I wouldn't recommend buying it, but it does what I need, and so I'm kind of stuck with it. I'm considering switching to something called Lightworks. It's something that's made for actual like movie producers, though there's a free version that works just fine for me, I bet, but I haven't quite learned it yet. And so I linked it in the description anyway. If you want to learn it, go ahead. I might make a tutorial on it in the future. So yeah, I have a new project. Give it some random name. 1080p is cool. Hit OK. And you met with this blank screen. So this is like the little source monitor. No, it's not a source monitor. This is like the output monitor, like a little inventory thing in your timeline. So you want to go find your rendered file and put it in your inventory, and also your background. Put that in your inventory. And what you want to do is put the background down first, because it's the background, and then put the video on top. And then make this the length of the video. Now, that doesn't help your bars at all. So what you need to do to fix that is find something called Luma key. And that's what the whole industry calls it. And so if you're looking for it in whatever program you use, it's called Luma key. Happens to be right here under keying. Put it on, and bam, does that. It's pretty cool. Takes out all the black and leaves the white. It uses luminosity. That's why it's called Luma key. I'm talking kind of fast. It's late. Anyway, so the next problem is we got these black bars on the side of the background. We don't really want that. That's because by default Premiere scales to frame size, which tries to fit it in the whole frame. So all you need to do is uncheck that and just slaps it on there. And so now we got the makings of a decent video. If you want to move the bars down, you can click on the clip, hit edit effects down here, and open up motion. This thing controls like the X, and that thing controls the Y, and this controls the scale. I don't really want to scale it, but that's there if you want it. You can uncheck that, and you can mess with the height and everything. So if you want to make it really short and not fill up your whole video, you can just do that. You can click on it, it's like that big. Yeah. Now if you want to add text, then you can just use the little text tool there, add a title. That's what's called Premiere Pro also. It's a little bit more trickier to do that. And so I like EDM, and the EDM notation is of course artist before song title. Yeah, I'll pick a cool font. Actually, I will use Kremlin. Kremlin is the font used by the Hawken game. That's also what I use for Hawken's videos, because everyone complains about how he stole the name from them, which is not really true, because that's what he was born with. But, you know, whatever. So it's kind of a troll, I guess. And just bump it up to a good size. 110. Why not? And then use this little cursor tool to move it wherever you want. Yeah, that's pretty good. Click this button to center it. Actually, I don't really like the reverse letters. In Kremlin, a capital letter is not reversed, a lowercase letter is. And so you get that. Pretty dang neat. The last step, of course, well, not really of course, but you need to add a new video track. So right click and add track and hit 1. You don't need an extra audio track, so you can hit 0 there. The reason why you need this is because you need room to put your title, which just showed up right there. Oh, dang, it's late. Anyway, make that the entire length of the video, and get this magical thing. Now if you want to add extra effects, you don't really want to go overboard, but some common effects are like fades and things. So you'll find that on the transitions usually. So what I like to use is a zoom on the title, and then I like to use some kind of fade if I can find it on everything else. Cross dissolve works. And you can preview it by going to your transition and hitting the next frame thing, and get this lovely thing. And so yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, of course, exporting. So you go to the share tab, and you can export by click on the computer thing. I have never gotten any of these things to work. It makes me really mad. And so what I've been stuck with is uploading YouTube and Facebook, which works just fine. It just takes a while to process. That you can figure out on your own. And if you really need to get the file and you can't figure out how to do it through the computer thing, just go to YouTube. Go to your video manager, which is called Creator Studio now. I just changed that today. Yeah, video manager, and look at all these lovely videos. You only do is click the arrow, and you see this download MP4. Just need to grab that and download it, or you can just use a YouTube downloader, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, my name's James Martindale. I make apps. I do websites sometimes. I do anything computers really. I'm 15. Yeah, if you like this video, leave a like. If you dislike this video, then leave a like anyway. If you want me to make some tutorial on really anything, just leave a comment and I'll see what I can do. And yeah, have fun, I guess, and good night.